Welcome back to the video. This video today will tell you all about retirement in Hua Hin, guys, and why I think if you're over 55 or coming up to 55, why I think it's one of the best places on the planet to retire to. I just think it's better coming at an earlier age. It's actually easier to get the retirement visa if you're a little bit younger because you need a few requirements. You need to be over 50 for starters to get the retirement visa. You also need 65,000 baht coming in per month as like a pension, or 800,000 baht in your bank account. And the other major thing which is really important is the health insurance. So obviously that's going to be easier if you're 55 than if you're 70, let's say like this, because you know how insurance works. Medical insurance works. The older you get, the more expensive it gets. It's a bit annoying, but that's the way it works. And also, pre-existing conditions. The chances are at 55, hopefully you're still in good health and you're looking after yourself. The companies are more likely to insure you if in better health. So if you're struggling with your health and you're 65, 70, then insurance in Thailand is going to be a bit tricky, or it's going to be expensive, and you're going to have to go with certain companies that help this, and I'll discuss that in another video. It's going to cost more money, that's just inevitable, and that's fair enough from the insurance company that you are a higher risk person. The chances are you're getting sick are a lot higher than someone at 50 or 55 who's in really good health and never had any problems. I hope you're enjoying today's video, guys. Just do us a favor, don't ask many favors, just press the subscribe button, just help us out. Thanks, and back to the video. As you get older, now I understand that not everyone's always in that financial situation at 50 or 55, but if you can start planning it, whatever age you are now, maybe you're 40, maybe you're 45, start planning that retirement. Another reason it's a great place to come at that age, I think there's some great opportunities for investment in Thailand. So if you're looking at getting a pool villa or some kind of investment there, and then in the future maybe you want to rent it out or sell it on, there is actually a good place to buy and sell. Prices are going up that area because it's very, very popular with retirees. So if you do get a pool villa there and spend quite a bit of money on one, then it is quite easy to rent out if you buy it in the right location, guys, which is very, very important. Obviously not everyone wants to do this, but this is just another kind of bonus. Another reason I think that this place is better than say Phuket or Pattaya, I just think it's more laid back there. There's a nice type of person that retires in Hua Hin. And there's a nice kind of Thai person that lives there as well. I mean, for sure, there's all types of people that live there, but generally, most people who go to that area are, quite chilled out. It's a very chilled out kind of place. Most Thais are very happy if they live in that area because it's so nice. I think they're happier than some of the people who are living in the big cities, because it's a little bit more relaxed pace of life there. Now, is it getting busier and busier in this area? For sure. And there's more and more, there's a lot of tourists that go there during certain months, December and January, so it does get very, very busy during them months. But if you did come to this area, you could live out of the town centre. I wouldn't really advise to live in the town centre. I would be a little bit out, away from some of the tourists, maybe, probably better would suit most people, I think. I think when you get to 55, I think you need to focus a little bit more on yourself, looking after your health and everything else. So yeah, maybe your financial situation's not perfect for coming to Thailand just yet. I don't think this financial situation is ever going to be perfect coming somewhere, but you have to look at the bigger picture, your health, your wellness, if you've got a lot of stress now in the UK or America or Australia or Canada, wherever you come from. We do suffer a lot of stress, and it kind of gets worse as you get older. So if you can, manage to come out here and take early retirement, I think it's a great option. Maybe you're in that lucky position where, you're going to be 55 and you've got a full, really good pension coming in and you don't have to work. But then, I suggest you get some really great hobbies when you come over here. A lot of people play golf. There's lots of different sports in the area. A lot of people do. There's a lot of group meetups people do. There's a lot of like-minded people that are living in this area who are retired too, like yourselves, of similar age, between 50 and 70. And so there's a lot of people to do that with. And make you feel like you're having a second life when you come out to here. It is a completely different culture, environment to live in. It can kind of make you feel like you come alive again, after you've you know, sometimes you do get a bit jaded. You stay in a country a long time, working a long time, especially in the same job. I understand, because I've done it myself. And then you come to somewhere new and it's all fresh, it's exciting, and you know, I think it's a place to come in 2025. I really do. And I think more and more people are escaping kind of that, you know, way of life back in the UK, if they can afford to. You know, not everyone is in that position, but if you can afford to, then I think it's a great thing to do. You know, it makes you feel alive again. You know, I think Thailand's one of them places that makes you feel young again. And I think we lose that in the West a little bit when you're sitting inside in the winter when it's freezing cold or it's raining outside, like it always does where I'm from in Stoke-on-Trent. And I think, you know, you get that opportunity to come out to somewhere like this, and it's just so different, guys. Waking up to the sunshine every day definitely affects your mood. You know, your mood is definitely affected by the sunshine, by the environment you're in. I remember when I was in Stoke, I always, like, you know, felt a bit down. Sometimes, you know, when, especially if it rained for like a week continuously, it get you a little bit depressed. I mean, I did a lot of exercise that kind of helped with, you know, your mood. But I think, you know, the sun is a natural kind of mood booster for sure. If you're not from the UK, maybe, you know, you get a lot of sun already. Like in Australia, I know you guys over there. Okay, I know this video won't affect everyone. I know some people may be thinking about retirement at 65 or 67, and you can still come to Thailand at this age. I think it's a little bit harder to adapt to the culture when you get a little bit older. A lot of people still come over here at this age. Just the one big consideration, just if you're coming over maybe at 65, 67, is just make sure you've gone through the health insurance, you know, and try and find a company that helps older retirees in Thailand. And yeah, I'll be discussing that in another video soon, guys. So don't worry if you're a little bit old and you're still thinking about retiring, even up to about 70, 75, you know, you still can retire in Thailand if you've got a good financial situation. I think if you're coming at that age, just make sure your finances are good, because you're going to have to pay more for health insurance for sure. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, encourage people to come out here and then they're struggling with money, or they're they're risking it a bit, and then they have, you know, some kind of problem, and they're like, oh God, why have I come out here, and they have to go back to the UK. And, you know, I don't want that, you know, for sure. So do make sure if you're coming out here, especially later in life, you know, at an older age, 70, over 70 or something like this, and make sure you've got a decent financial situation. You've got a really good pension coming in every month to cover that health insurance. So, you know, because the chances are over 70, a lot of people, depends on, you know, your individual self, but, you know, some 70-year-olds can look fantastic and really healthy. Other 70-year-olds can look pretty bad and have really a lot of problems. So, you know, everyone's individual with this, guys. I just want to say, I really do think Thailand's one of the best places to come in retirement still. I know people are talking about the Philippines now and Vietnam for retirement, and people argue, oh, it's cheaper over in Vietnam, it's cheaper in the Philippines. It's not. It's pretty much the same, all them three places. I think personally Thailand's cheaper. Some people are arguing about Vietnam now, but I just don't think. I think Thailand's still the best place to come. Everyone who comes to Thailand loves it. You don't hear many people coming here, you know, for a holiday or retiring here that hate living here. You know, the people are fantastic. The culture's great. You know, it's one of the best places on the planet to live, I think personally, and to retire in. Okay, I hope that helps you out if you're thinking about retiring in Thailand. Check out some of my other videos on YouTube. I've got lots and lots, and there'll be future videos all about Hua Hin and retirement, guys. Enjoy your day and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, guys.